go.
Hunt Farm Companion. Sorry, I got excited there.
We're not that far away from Hunt Companion, but
yeah, well, I'll be turkey hunting this week.
that doesn't count.
Hunt Companion.
Hunt Turkey Companion.
Yeah.
Still
farm mode.
I think
though.
August is probably when Hunt Companion returns. That'd be my guess.
I'm gonna say we kick it off leading into hopefully we draw North Dakota and that we'll kick it off with that.
So it'll be August.
Oh, that will be August.
Oh!
Yeah, you're right. End of August.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We put in for Kansas.
Yep. Locked in. You got you and your dad.
Yep. Uncle Dale's coming.
That's the plan.
He's in now. He's
locked.
There's no backing out.
He's locked in.
There's no backing out.
Appreciate you and your dad making room for him there.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man. It'll be a good camp.
I'm excited about that. That'll be his first Midwestern deer hunt, if you
Just
can
have
believe
to make
that.
sure those Prussia brothers don't get into it there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Uncle Dale, he's a little ornery.
Yeah.
You'll see.
That'll be fun, man.
I'll have to keep him regular.
Yeah. Keep him what Metamucil. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be good. So it'll be fun. But yeah, we're in farm mode. It's April 10th that we're filming this. April 13th that this is actually going out. And yeah, mid-April, we were just talking about, we've gotten, frankly, a lot of people probably got too much rain. Missouri, Kentucky, a lot of flooding in a lot of those places. Yeah. Which, I'm sure like any summer, it'll eventually turn off and then we'll be wanting it. But we've gotten a lot of rain around here. We're talking about our clover plots looking really good. It's greened up like that. Like really, really has gotten thick here recently.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that like I want to talk about, but I don't want to complicate just yet. In terms of like really it has to do with like property acquisition, right? And trying to
build on.
Yeah, trying to grow, trying to establish things a little bit. I mean, there really is like a behind the scenes strategy that like we try to tie into, or just be talking about on the podcast as much as we can, but a lot of it is just it's ever changing and it's delicate, frankly, and so.
Yeah, I mean, you've got things happening with your personal farm.
With our home farm too.
Yeah, that hasn't happened yet, so it's not like making decisions based on it, but continues to piece itself together like it could happen, which will change your farm. Yeah.
Well, it just takes a lot of like, I mean, I realize that there's things that are out of my control. And so there's no sense in like stressing about those. So
can't do anything about it.
I'm going to do everything I can to like, have those situations go in a way that's favorable to us. But, at the end of the day, all we can do is the best with what we have,
Yeah.
So,
and that's it. I mean, that's where it's at. I mean, I'm acquiring my neighbor's piece at the mountain property in Kentucky. So I'm working through that right now with them.
Put together a land deal with those guys. They took that.
I did a land contract with them, so that's cool. That's my first one that I've ever done.
Nice.
And it'll benefit them. Like I'm overpaying, I guess, per acre, but it's saving me thousands on interest at the end of the day.
I don't think there is such a thing as overpaying for your neighbor's property.
No, and there's some other things like I
within reason.
Yeah, I had some other values in there. Like I'm gonna put about $10,000 into the road that goes through the property to their house. I'm gonna cut their house out basically in 3 acres, and then I'm gonna put about $10,000 into the road, which will inevitably help them, from because it's like washed out in bad condition. So yeah, so that'll be good. And I don't know. I mean. I've leased that property for the last few years, and I need to create some different access points on it. Like that'll be the first thing I'll try to figure out is how to access that property. I might even call some of the neighbors and try to buy some right-of-ways through some of their places, just like short 50-yard right-of-way type stuff to be able to get into that. But there's not a lot to do. I mean, I have a few open areas. I can do some timber stuff, but I call it the mountain property for a reason. Like it's not a farm. So, but traditionally we've had some really good deer there, and it's just been hard to hunt because of limited access from our side. So now having control of that will give me a little bit better reach into some places, and it's just it's kind of my home base when I'm in Kentucky anyways. So
yeah. There's like a lot of, it seems like we have projects underway, but also, per my comment earlier, a lot of just, kind of wait to see how things are going to shake out here this year. It's like, especially in Ohio, and potentially Illinois, one for the better, one for seemingly not the better, could be pretty different.
Very different
than it was last year. But
no, I think that'll be a big one. Yeah, I'm pretty content in Ohio where I'm at. I'm not looking. I made an offer, like a low offer on that stuff that they chipped next to me. He sold that to somebody else. It sounds like for like several $1,000s an acre, which is crazy.
Really,
it's dirt, chipped it to dirt. It's hillside.
Wow.
So that, I mean, it doesn't really affect
Which,
me.
if somebody's wanting to develop it or something, then maybe that is desirable.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with it. I mean, it's like a hillside, pretty much. So, yeah, I mean, if I could have got it for cheap, great. Not a big deal that I don't have it. I'll be interested. So I talked to Eric Long here recently. We're gonna go out and do like a burn series on my Ohio farm next year, which will be cool.
Nice.
So that'll give it another year to just kind of come in after. This will be year 2 of growth from the timber harvest.
Why don't you come at my place too?
Hey, you gotta pounce on that. Old Stretch is a valuable guy.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun. So we're gonna do a bunch of timber burns on the place, and that'll be neat. Like I said, my clover plot's looking good. I'm meeting a beans guy on Tuesday. So have him come in and look at where he's drilling. Madison, I think, might come out. We might do a little evaluation on how the timber's doing and stuff after the cut.
Dude, I want to know what you think of that thing that I sent you this morning.
I don't think I saw it. What'd you send?
Did you see Higgins' post about
the switch thing?
The switch thing?
Back to the switch. Yeah, so basically he's saying that everybody else is full of shit.
That's what he said. He said, I keep hearing people say that deer don't like switchgrass or switchgrass can be too thick and other such things that I have never seen. This image of a switchgrass patch on my farm and the other deer bedded in the switchgrass was taken by Jack Hudson, who's flying the thermal drone, while taking a thermal drone survey. Zoom in and check out all the trails through the switchgrass, which is all tall and thick as any switchgrass I have ever seen. I've got plenty of footage of multiple booners exiting switchgrass in the afternoon, so I know for certain that they bed in it. They absolutely use it like crazy, and the bigger the plot, the better they like it.
The bigger, the better.
Which is
interesting.
It's like,
does that make sense to you?
Well, it makes sense, but it's completely the opposite of like a general consensus that I personally was coming to. And then I feel like a lot of other people have reached as well.
They use it as edge cover and they'll walk through it, but they're not really preferring it as bedding.
Right.
Well, I mean, the two things, and this is not criticism towards Don, is like, if I'm in Kansas and there is no trees, sure, they're going to bed in the switch because that's the only place they have.
Yeah.
Right? I think the interesting thing would be, why would they bed in that when it's clearly known that a deer gets up and feeds throughout the day and beds back down? Like, what are they eating in the switch?
I agree.
Unless you've got clovers and stuff in there, which kind of goes against, like, I don't want that in my switch.
To me, it kind of goes, like you're saying, no offense, but I do think it kind of goes against some common sense there. Like, dude, there's nothing in there for them to eat.
There's nothing for them to eat.
And they are constantly, grazing while they're bedding and stuff. So why would they choose that as a primary bedding area?
Like, I could see a buck pushing a doe up into that from a breeding stance of just like trying to isolate her. But from a preferred bedding, like, they want browse, they want forbs, they want to eat stuff and then lay back down.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Maybe there's different things in the mix that are having that impact. But if you're controlling the other broadleafs and grasses, like, there shouldn't be. It's a pure stand of switch. There is no food in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I sent it to Skip for his take, too. I was just skimming that as I was reading it there.
What'd Skip say?
He basically said he's right and he's wrong. He's like, yeah, I've got patches of switch and I've jumped big bucks out of them.
Yep.
He's like, but they absolutely won't choose it over managed timber, with shrubs and forbs and So I think it comes down to limited quality habitat surrounding.
Exactly. Yeah.
or you got a physical barrier like a fence.
If there's a fence, or if it's just, if it's mature hardwoods and there's nothing in the understory, then it doesn't matter if they sit in that or the switch. In fact, they probably feel more secure in the switch. They're not eating either way.
Yeah.
So I think that's and which is,
I just thought it was an interesting post. You know what I mean? It's just in the face of everything that's like,
which is why
the conclusion we seem to be reaching.
In my case, I'm trying to figure out, how do I open up canopy in the woods, burn it, put switch in the woods and then allow briars and everything else to grow up in that.
I will say the part where he's saying the bigger it is, the better. I do disagree with that. I just don't think that's correct.
I don't think a sea of monoculture anything is good for deer.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, but here's the thing, and he probably didn't specify, is I know that Don is big on putting like miscanthus edge rows in there. But yeah, I mean, it's not just all switch, but even if I look at our 30-acre field in Illinois, I don't think I've ever seen a deer stand up in there and like walk out of it.
I have. I've seen a few.
Have you?
Yep. And I went and investigated where that happened, and it was out of like cool season pockets.
Where there's little things that they get by. Or there's a couple of those random autumn olives in there that they probably have some browse around and stuff like that. Because ours hasn't been burned in a while. In fact, we've walked through it, surprisingly. There was a pile
It's not
of briars.
a contiguous wall of switch by any means.
Yeah, there's briars and everything else in there, right? So...
frankly, it's not a very good stand of switch, so it's not.
Yeah, it's high diverse.
Yeah, highly diverse.
Highly diverse. But yeah, I don't think that. I don't buy that either. I do think that it depends on the environment that the deer are in, but ultimately deer want to be in managed timber. That's where the browse is going to be. That's where in October or whatever, that's where the mast is going to be. Like they want to be in secure, well-managed timber from a food and a safety and a thermal standpoint. Like that's just what they want to be in. If they don't have that choice, then yeah, they're going to go for what the next best thing is. But
yeah, it does make you wonder. I mean, like in my scenario, it's like, man, we have managed timber but it's primarily
Pockety.
an ag and in pasture environment. It does make me wonder, like, man, if I just went out there and planted 100 acres of switch, how they would use it. I mean,
I'm sure they would bet in it.
It's obviously it's too expensive. Like you couldn't.
I'm sure they would bet in it, but in a extreme monoculture, I mean, the easiest thing, and I know it's not apples to apples, but it's like if you had 100 acres of switch or 100 acres of clear cut timber, what are they going to be in? They're going to be in a clear cut timber.
Sure, clear cut timber.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even aggressively selected cut timber, they're going to be in.
Well, we heard on our podcast with Kroll there too. I mean, I'm very confident that like the timber is not doing anything for the whitetail other than dropping mast.
Yeah, which is why I was so surprised.
From purely from a deer hunting standpoint, other than tree stand trees or mass producing trees, you have timber value as the main consideration here. Like, you don't want to.
For most wildlife, though, that's what was so surprising. Like I think it may have been yesterday that I saw it come across. It's basically Trump said that his administration has just authorized the increased volume of timber harvest in U.S. Forest Service land. And the amount of hunters that were like, they're already cutting too much, they're already doing this and that. Like, whether it's deer, grouse, turkeys, even to a point, as long as they're still roosting trees, like all of these, wildlife species are wanting basically an earlier successional habitat.
Dude, there's blocks of timber on my farm, on my parents' farm, I should say, that when when my parents are gone, because they'll never allow it. My mom, for whatever she's trees.
Yeah, don't cut trees.
When they're gone, I'm going to clear cut it.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing there.
Yep.
It's squirrely cherries and old hickories and there's a few oak trees that are valuable, and I'll leave those strategically, and walnuts and stuff like that. Other than that sucker's getting clear cut, and it's getting burned through every 5 or 10 years.
Well, I mean, when I bought my Ohio piece, in my head, I'm like, man, look at this giant 130.
Not that I'm wishing them gone by any means.
Look at this giant 130 acre hardwood piece. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
It was a desert. Like, when the mast fell, like, great, there were acorns, but like I could see 300 yards straight through the woods. Like, they didn't stay there. They didn't stage there. They didn't move through. Like, they just passed through it right through that. Like, there is nothing there for them to eat, So by opening up all of that canopy and creating all of this thick and browse and stuff, now it's all of a sudden, look how many deer I can pack into this place.
I think you and I should take on the briars in that block of timber next year.
The multiflora.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think next year, now that we've got our eyes on it and understand kind of what's there, I think we go out there with at least one machine. I think we can do it with the Rangers, not with a boom sprayer, but with the gun sprayer
gun.
with the gun off of there.
You think we can drive through most of that?
I think we can drive through a lot of it.
Yeah.
And I think if we grid
versus a backpack sprayer?
Yeah. Purely from an electronic pump standpoint, frankly.
I've got an electronic backpack sprayer.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Then maybe that. Also from a refill standpoint.
I mean that we'll have to have like I've got a couple of those water buffaloes that we could put in the back to just like have down at the main field to go back in and fill them up. But
okay,
I would use. We need to look.
Frankly, I don't. Maybe we pull in 2 or 3 other people to help us.
Yeah, we need like an Amazapure or something that's like gonna nuke the shit out of that thing.
Yeah.
I wouldn't just go Gly.
Fine.
I'd go like hardcore.
Yeah, fine. So, and I think if we can get that done,
then open it up.
then I think we burn through it first.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's even the following year. I think it would be.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I think next year we tackle that multiflora.
Just spot spray.
I think we spot spray it as best as we can.
Mm-hmm.
I think the following year, we put a fire through it,
Mm-hmm.
and then hit it hard the same year with chainsaws.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I would agree.
You in for that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wonder what will come up in place of the multiflora.
I'm sure some of it will come back,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't know.
Just some grasses and stuff, I assume.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anything.
That seems what's in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think that's an easy thing to do.
Because frankly, it's not as good as I thought. You know what I mean? He was talking about like carrying the knapsack, of food. It's just like a sea of multiflora.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's trails and stuff. They feel safe in there. They're isolated,
but they're
and
not.
stuff, but
it's just a staging area.
I think it's holding a fraction of the deer that it could be.
Sure.
From a quality of habitat standpoint.
Yeah, there's no real good browse in there.
Maybe you're right. Maybe walking it is better. And dude, if they make electronic, because that's the thing, dude, pumping that thing.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
Yeah.
And maybe
I've got 2 actually. No, I blew. I might have blown the other one up, but I've got one. It's either I think it's a Greenworks one. It has like a 48-volt battery.
Well, if you and I mean, because what is it, a 30-acre block of timber?
Yeah, 26.
If you and if we can get 2 or 3 other guys to come help us,
Mm-hmm.
I bet we can tackle that in a day.
Strap a bracket, sprayer on.
Sure. He ain't doing that. No chance.
He's got a guy.
He'd rather drink a gallon of glyphosate, I think. Yeah.
He'll just be the refill guy driving the thing.
Well, hey, no, there's plenty of people out there I know
Yeah.
that would help us.
Yeah. No, that's an easy thing to do. I think very beneficial.
It's not gonna be
on that
easy,
side.
but it'll I think be well worth it.
I mean, it's just spot spraying, and then
There's
burn.
a lot of spots.
Oh yeah, yeah.
A lot of spots. So yeah, I mean, I think you just grid it out. Honestly,
Mhm.
grid it out. Line all 5 up and be like, hey, let's push.
Just like your shed hunt, they're
basically
pushing.
push the thing here.
Mhm. Yep, I think that's good.
I do think that's the order too.
Yeah, the only other thing that we could do, and
Throw
we're
some switch
past.
down?
Well, but we're past it this year. Is you could burn it and top kill it and then spray it, like basically spray the new growth. But we're past it this year.
So how would that work?
So we'd run a fire through
Okay.
to top kill all the actively growing stuff.
What do you mean top kill?
So when you burn, you're not killing like the root system.
Right.
You're just killing everything up on top.
Right.
So then as it sprouts up again, then you spray it. And then that kills that system. So basically top's dead, kills the root system and everything at that point.
So you would have to burn a few weeks before going back and spraying?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And then open that up and then spray it.
And then just do your TSI work?
Then you do your TSI work. Yep.
Does that seem like a better way to do it?
Probably.
Okay.
Just from a standpoint of like, because of the way that those are masked out, unless we're spraying it when they're dormant and we're spraying like an Amazapure, which is very soil
I
active.
think that's really challenging. I think you're spraying the actively growing
So
plant.
you want to control the actively growing, which means you want to run a fire
Okay.
or manually cut it, which sucks.
No, it's not.
Yeah. So you want to run a fire and kill it, top kill it as it sprouts back up, be able to nuke those stump sprouts and everything that are coming up.
Okay. Then that's what we'll do.
Then TSI.
Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
I can forego, I mean, not completely, but like, I know it's tough to get multiple trips, but maybe next year,
Yeah, burn in March.
February, March, we
Yeah.
go and put a fire through it and some
Mhm.
other areas maybe.
Mm-hmm.
and then we'll come back for a later trip and plan to nuke everything and do all of our TSI work.
Yep.
Does that sound right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, do you TSI or do you timber harvest that? That's the question.
Maybe talk to Madison.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, you're not going to go in there and cut walnuts just to cut walnuts.
No. Well,
and like, if you cut those,
I'll tell you
if
what.
you cut the Osages, like that, I mean, I don't know what's really coming up after that.
I don't know.
You also need a lot of blades when you're cutting Osages.
I think we wrote Madison in.
Yeah.
And if he feels like we can justify a timber harvest and offset the workload there, then I think that's something to look at.
Probably.
Just from a capacity standpoint.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. I'm liking that.
Yep. I think that's the way to do it.
Okay.
Yep.
I think it's a good next year project.
It is.
In the meantime, all the switching stuff we're tackling this year will get planted.
That's a big one. Yep.
Okay.
And drilling beans. And yeah, I think we're in pretty good shape on that farm. And yeah, man, it's so weird. It's like, it's not necessarily like an overmanaged thing. It's like, we want to continue to enhance all of these farms to like the best of their capabilities. It's just, is the juice worth the squeeze? It becomes the question. And I don't know. In this case, what we just talked about, absolutely, because it's a core piece of cover in the area.
That's the unknowns that I was talking about earlier, because like the neighbors are always a factor, and so like a big part of, they obviously affect one another. So you don't want to like just spin your wheels by doing all this work knowing it's not going to benefit you, but at the rate of like, hey, the bigger bar is moving also.
Sure.
Then I say we go for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, so that's kind of the big stuff. I mean, you got turkey hunting coming up this weekend as youth.
Yep.
So I'm not going. Kids got a race that we're doing on Saturday, so I think I'm going to Kentucky next weekend. So I'll probably hunt turkey next weekend with the kids at the farm. I've got one place that I really want to go and shed hunt, and it sucks because it's getting green so fast, but it's been flooded. Like I can't get up to the ridge. My access has been flooded, still flooded. That lake is 30 feet over like the summer pool right now. So it's like the third highest that it's been since the dam was built in like 1962.
Wow.
So it's like majorly flooded, which is good crappie fishing. But
did you ever go look for that?
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's what you're talking about.
There's a creek that feeds in that I cross over. The water's like, I'd have to boat across it at this point. That's how far back the water is.
Wow.
So yeah, I just haven't been able to get up there and look. But I got him on camera the other day coming through. He's got significant nubs already.
Nubbing out, huh?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I saw one of my places up here in Pennsylvania. I had 3 bucks together that all were like, I don't know, 2 inches, 2.5 inches, nubbed out.
Yep.
Haven't seen.
Coming back.
I guess I did see those ones down in Honey Hole that were nubbed out the other day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got a nice bachelor group of bucks down there hanging out.
So yeah,
I'm excited, man.
cool.
I'm excited to start putting some stuff in the dirt, and
yeah, we had some trophy rocks show up at the farm the other day.
Yeah.
So
and thank Isaac. He's been good to us for a couple of years now. He's been sending us pallets of stuff, and the trophy rock's a staple, man. I get it all, and I mean that's where our summer inventory comes from.
Yep. Sent me some of the new electrolyte stuff too. I gotta. I think
so plants crave.
Yeah. Make you strong. Hydration.
Yeah.
Trophy rocks for the human body.
Well, I think so. As far as like immediate projects here, so yeah, turkey hunting this weekend. I probably won't get anything done. I'll bring you back some trophy rocks. I may get some of those out. Next weekend or sometime during the week, I'll probably go out on a good weather day and hit that 7-acre switch stuff that I'm doing again with Gly and 240.
Yep.
That'll be my first like active.
Have you drilled that?
No.
Okay. You're gonna drill that during beans.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. But this I sprayed Simazine in March sometime.
Yep.
So like pre-emergent. I'm gonna nuke it Gly and 240 mid-April, and then I'm gonna nuke it again Gly and 240 mid-May.
Yep.
And I'll plant my right around when I plant. I'll drill the switch into it then, and then beans are going in roughly the same time.
Perfect.
I guess in the midst of that, we're planting. I think Dad bought like 5,000 pine trees.
Holy balls!
There's a bunch of and we got several acres going into Norway spruce, white pine, and I think he got some. Like there's some kind of a white oak in there, and also some sort of a walnut he put in there also.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it'd be kind of and he bought a tree planter.
Yeah, well, that's a big one.
Yeah, so I think that's like 25th through the 7th. We've got planned for getting those in the ground. April.
Yep, that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's awesome, man. That's a lot of habitat going in that future years.
I mean, dude, when the summer rolls around, like I'm gonna go crazy again too. Like I'll probably rent a Bobcat at some point and put a couple new water holes in.
I think that's a bit. We've had enough discussions now to be like, those need to happen. I'm gonna get one in. I'm gonna get multiple in Ohio as well.
Yeah.
Whether I get a Bobcat or thought about just buying a backhoe attachment on my tractor. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to get those in.
Yeah, dude, the Bobcats are nice because it's like you can grade it so nice. Like it's so much fun. Like just getting a nice, perfect deal in there, and then I think depending on where it goes, that well, and I guess first of all, I'm anxious to see how that water hole I put in last year holds up because like initially it was like not holding water at all. Like we filled it up a few times, blah blah blah, it didn't work. Then we went back and put what's that stuff called?
Bentonite, sodium.
Yeah, sodium bentonite.
Yeah, bentonite.
I put sodium bentonite in it, a lot of it, and then it got wet and it rained, and then I was like, I'm still not holding, so we went in and I got a firsthand experience with bentonite and how tacky and stuff it gets. So like, if you're gonna do that, it needs to be dry and like almost dusty. And mix it in early on. But then over time, that started to hold water, and then it started to hold a lot of water, and it's had water in it ever since September. So I'm anxious to see now in the heat of the summer, will it hold water all year long? And I'm hopeful that it will.
Yeah.
I think it will.
That'd be huge. It's a key piece. Yeah, I got like a massive amount of leaves in mine the other day. I was starting to clean out here from the winter time, but it'll need a couple more behind the house at least. And yeah, I need to get some more in Ohio especially. Kentucky's pretty good. I might put one or two more in there, but I got corn to plant in Kentucky. Probably I'm going to wait a little bit longer, so I'll probably do it in like first week of May, give or take. Second week of May, and then I'll come back with beans in late May in Kentucky.
What do you think about Kansas? What do you think about a scouting trip?
I don't know if it's necessary. I mean, I don't know. I've never hunted with an outfitter before. This is first popping my cherry.
Yeah.
Never done it before. So
that's obviously not going to be necessary.
You're talking about lease stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it depends, are we doing them?
Right.
And if we are, then I don't know. We'd have to have a bigger conversation on that if we're going to go out and cover those grounds and if we want to. And what it looks like.
Yeah, it's kind of where I'm at with it too. A lot of hurry up and wait on all this stuff. It's just kind
of and it's like, yeah, if we're going to do the lone wolf thing at your farm and then potentially go to North Dakota at the end, like summer's going to fly by.
Yep.
You know, and I don't really want to go out to Kansas in July and scout. Like that's pointless in my opinion. Like if you're going to do it, you're going to do it in August and or September. And by that time we're like full into it. So
I know, it flies by.
Yeah. Cause we went out it was August when we were in Iowa, right? End of August.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is about the time you want to get out there to start seeing some stuff shift and coming out of velvet and that kind of thing.
Yep.
So that would be the timing again, but that's probably going to overlap with North Dakota if we draw.
Or a mid-September. Yeah. Somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it's more of a camera deployment. Like I think we can go in and read it and hunt them. It's more of a what's there.
Yeah, what's there. That's all we care about is there something we want to go and chase on those properties. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
All right.
Yeah, otherwise
I don't
want to fly blind either. That's for sure. Like I don't.
Well, the situation I don't want to run into is settling. You know, if Roger's like, hey, I've got a couple decent, whatever, but not knowing is going to kill me.
Sure.
Especially if we pay for the lease. You know, I mean, I want to maximize and be able to know what's there.
No. I think if we pay for the lease, we have to get out there.
Okay.
That's you have to.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because otherwise you're going to be trying to scout it when we're out there, and that never works.
Well, we just won't have time for cameras to soak and stuff like that. It's gonna be challenging.
Yep.
Or we won't have the motivation, to be. We'll just take what's in front of us.
Take what's in front of us. Yeah.
Hey, dude, I want to kill another giant this year.
It's very possible.
I think we can do it out there, too.
You just got to find one.
We just got to find one. That's what I mean. Or a couple of them.
Just got to find them. Yeah, they're out there. It's, just finding them. And I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm going to try to get on, I'm going to try to strategically get on some this summer and just like locate them here. Cause like mine move a lot, but I'm just going to try to find where their bachelor groups are at this summer in a couple of the areas. There's 2 or 3 areas where I've got bucks I'm going to chase this year. One here and one in Kentucky for sure. Ohio, I'm just worried about the farm, but I'm going to try to find them this summer and maybe even late spring. Like you're going to be able to tell here in the next 4 weeks what something's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If they start popping out with like, good.
Yeah, serious girth.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one you're going to want to keep tabs on.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, just kind of getting into that mode and things will green up. And
I'm going to make an effort on just especially seeing what's coming down the pipe here. I'm going to make an effort on some Ohio public. Yeah. I'm not saying it's like I'm going to be solely that. I'm going to do the best that I can, but I've already got at least 1, probably 2 located that are like for sure.
Oh, studs.
For sure shooters.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was after the season that I picked them up, so it's I don't have any kind of a pattern or anything like that, but I do have an idea.
I mean, it's good enough to at least try to get a beat on them this summer.
Good enough. That could be a giant, dude. That could be a mid-70s deer this year.
Yeah, that was a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, it's gonna come. It's gonna happen fast. I mean, the next 2 to 4 weeks are gonna kind of blow by here, and yeah, we'll be back into the heart of it.
Drilling beans before you know it.
I know. That's what I'm trying to keep on right now is like to make sure I got beans and corn in my head of like I got to get these done here sooner than later. But yeah, so that's kind of what's in the near future at least.
It's fun. It's a lot to coordinate. It really takes active management to get, especially out of state stuff, moving.
Again, I say it all the time. I'm jealous of the guys who get to walk out the back door and have the farm right there.
Yeah.
The amount of things that could get done astronomically more.
Sure.
Like Tuesday, I'm going to leave in the morning, go down to Ohio, unload some lumber, try to seed some clover plots, maybe put out some rocks. Got to meet with the guy drilling beans, and then it's dark.
You going to come out to Illinois with me in May?
Yep.
We'll set a date for that. I did that one alone last year, remember?
Did you?
Uh-huh. I drove back out to do that.
Yeah. No, I'll be out for that.
Okay.
Yep. And then, because I'll probably bring my kinetic with the sprayer. So one of us is drilling and one of us is spraying, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so
that'd be
ideal.
ideal.
We'll have a lot of spraying to cover and a lot of drilling to cover.
Yep. I'm trying to remember how we did that last year.
I think we sprayed everything. That's why you went back out. We came out and sprayed everything, went back home. 2 weeks later, you came back out.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we had been out there multiple times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, well, it's shaping up. I mean, this year, especially Illinois, like, man, it's everywhere, man. I'm feeling pretty on top of, like, the crops, the planting, you know what I mean? All of it.
It's always the question of, like, who made it through? You know, like we know some of these deer, but who made it through? Who shows up? Hopefully no EHD.
It's a big horn, man.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that deer turn up this year.
Yep. And
I think we could kill him off the cove early season.
Yep. Yeah, that clover should be popping here pretty quick.
Yeah. We have to get out there with some interested in your thoughts there too. We were talking with Skip on the IMOX stuff. He's like, yeah, don't do that.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, the counter was that I was going to use IMOX in plots I had chicory, which I have to because I can't use butarac.
Yeah.
It'll nuke it.
Yeah.
So in those cases, maybe. But in the cases of
frankly, dude, I mean,
just pure clover or alfalfa, then cleth and butarac is the go-to, which is what I always have used cleth, butarac, and then if it's clover or alfalfa, that 3-18-18 fertilizers. I mean, all in the same tank.
I've never had a problem with the broadleaves, so I just hit it with cleth and I mow it.
Yeah, I have, and it's only in the like recent disturbance ones. Like, that's where the broadleaves come up. Like in Ohio, I had a big issue with that this year.
I don't do that anymore. I don't disc anything.
Yeah. Well,
that just
those were new
problems.
plots last year, so that's why. But yeah, and the ones that start to get established shouldn't be bad. But yeah. So if we're talking about chemical treatment there, if you aren't using chicory, clethodim, Butarac 200, same tank. If you got Deer Grove, throw it in, let it roll. If you are putting chicory in, then you need probably an IMOX to be able to spray everything at once.
If you are trying to take care of broadleaves or just mow it.
Correct. Yeah. If there are no broadleaves and you've got chicory, then just use clethodim and you're good to go.
100%.
Yep. You don't have to worry about that. So
yeah, like dude on that north plot, I don't think there's any broadleaf issues in there. I think we just hit it with clethodim.
Cleth and 31818 in the same tank. Yeah. Let it eat.
Yeah.
And that shit will blow up.
I'm excited that switch popped up there on the corner.
Yeah, that's kind of cool too.
Yeah.
Well, remember we extended that clover that whole way out into the foxtail.
Mm-hmm.
So that should pull them through. So
we're gonna have to fix that foxtail at some point there too. Figure something out there.
But yeah, man, I think we're pretty good. I mean, I say that we're on top of things as we can be right now. It's just come end of this month into May, from then until Memorial Day, shit gets wild because you got to get a lot of stuff in the ground.
I'm excited to see if we draw North Dakota. It's gonna be a big thing this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, if you haven't put in for your tags, put in for your tags. Kansas is open now for another 10 or 15 days. And yeah, that's where our mindsets are, ripping into the next week of April here. Before we know it, it'll be May 1st. And yeah, corn and beans will be getting in the ground pretty quickly.
Yeah, buddy.
So, okay. We appreciate everyone listening this week. We'll catch you next week on Farm Companion.
Farm Companion.